TikTok is definitely where people go to scream into the void about their problems now. And something that people are screaming about a lot is rent and housing prices. And honestly, it's fair. Because between $4,000 studio apartments and landlords charging pet rent, the housing crisis is really starting to feel like it's not a temporary crisis anymore, and it's just the way life is now. So today, I'm just going to dive into that chaos, and I'm going to react to some of the most unhinged, painfully accurate, and surprisingly educational TikToks about the housing market. Because if we're all going down, we might as well laugh and maybe learn something along the way. Let's get into it. So this video has almost 1 million views, and the caption is "Solving Affordable Housing Crisis." Let's see. We might just end the video after this one because he might have just solved it.
My solution to the housing crisis, a law, one house per person. That's it. So a couple can still have two, and each of their kids can even have a house. That's plenty, even for the rich people. And I know what you're going to ask. Well, if we get rid of so many real estate transactions, how will the people with the worst personalities I've ever met make money? I don't know. They're going to have to figure it out.
I actually love it. I think it's a really great idea. Obviously, part of our housing crisis is inventory. So lots of people just own multiple homes and sell them and just flip homes and own Airbnbs and vacation properties and all this stuff. And it creates lower inventory. So I think this is actually a great way to do it. If you're a couple, you can have two houses. That is still one more house than the average family has. Why do you need more than one home plus a vacation home? And he's even saying if you have kids, those kids can have houses too, which is great. Then it incentivizes rich people to have more children. If you want more houses, just have more kids. So I really like this. And I also love that he makes a joke about real estate agents being the worst people ever. Love that too. Think this is really funny and think it's actually a great solution. It would make a lot of people really upset. And I think you would have to let the people who already have multiple properties keep their multiple properties. But at some point, the buck has to stop. And maybe Danny Vega has just solved it right here. Let's go into the next video. Super short and sweet. This is a trend. See it with a bunch of different things, but these people doing it with housing is hilarious because she's like, look at the house. It's only $500,000. And it's like, it's crazy to us now that only $500,000 is like, wow, that's actually not that expensive. Especially me living in San Francisco, a house under $1 million. I'm like, wow, it's less than $1 million. That's insane. I haven't even made $1 million in my entire lifetime, probably. And then I'm just going to go and buy where I get to live for that amount of money. Like, it's hard to fathom. I also think about all the time how the house that I grew up in was $425,000. I totally could afford a house at that price now, and those types of houses just don't exist anymore. It was a nice house. We had a pool in the backyard, and it was great. There was enough bedrooms. Everyone got their own room, and that's just out of the question now. That is no longer a $425,000 house. It is like 3 to 4 times that. Yeah, it's insane that we're like only 500,000. All right, let's do an educational one. This has 2.8 million views, and the caption is "How I've afforded to live alone with no roommates for the last 5 years." So a lot of people want to know this. Everybody wants to live alone, but nobody can ever afford it. Let's figure it out.
I moved out on my own when I was 19. I am now 25 years old. And I guess I just want to share some helpful tips on how I afford that in a very expensive, ever-changing economy. Big disclaimer, I make way less than $100,000 a year, so I don't want y'all to think that I have this big budget. I don't. I'm not sure if this is revolutionary information, but these are things that I just learned along the way. Number one, you gotta get creative when it comes to monthly bills and expenses. I pay $10 a month for internet. If you don't know, Comcast, Xfinity, they have a program called Internet Essentials, where basically to qualify, all you have to do is upload a document that shows that you get food stamps. I don't get food stamps because I don't qualify, but I just uploaded my application letter and they approved it within like an hour. Number two.
So she's saying that there's opportunities to get lower internet so long as you have food stamps. It's a program that they use to make internet accessible to everyone. Her internet's only $10 a month. That's impressive.
If you're looking to move into an apartment, always ask about the workforce program. Basically, it's a rent-controlled program that is, I think, federally mandated that requires apartment complexes to set aside a certain amount of units for people who make a certain amount of money. Luckily for me, I make
Okay, this is a great one. I think there's all of these sneaky programs in almost every country in the world that support people who are on lower incomes that enable them to be in more expensive neighborhoods and in subsidized housing. And you just have to make under a certain amount of money. And people just don't know about them because they don't publicize them and nobody asks. So I think going and doing your research using ChatGPT to do that research would be a great thing to do.
For me, I make right at that number, so I was able to get a very, very good rate for my apartment. But always ask because it's not usually listed on apartment websites. Always ask them about it. Number 3, when it comes to furnishing your apartment, please do not go broke. Start tapping into apps like Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp. Facebook Marketplace has so many groups where they're just giving away things that they don't want that are in perfectly good condition. Do not sleep on liquidation warehouses. For my Atlanta girlies, I made a video about them on my TikTok before, but please look into Aria Furniture Warehouse. They're in Stone Mountain, Georgia. They delivered a lot of my furniture for me, already assembled, super sweet, great delivery rates, really affordable, good quality furniture. They brought me this.
Okay, this is a great one using Facebook and liquidation warehouses and whatever. My recommendation, there's Facebook groups called like Everything is Free and then whatever city you live in. And it's basically just people who just want to give away free stuff. A lot of the caveat to the bigger stuff is you have to go pick it up yourself. So like people give away a couch so long as you come pick it up. I have tried now. I've moved out of 2 different places and both times no one bought my couch. And when I just posted it as free and just come take it, people would come take it. But it's a great way to do it so long as you have a friend with a truck or are willing to rent a U-Haul for a day.
Desk and chair, as well as this TV stand and the TV. I got the TV for $90, y'all. We're already at 2 minutes, y'all. So let me know if you want a part 2 with more helpful tips, and I will do that for you.
This was great. I think it's a great idea to, 1, tell people how you do it, and 2, give them the secrets and tips that you learn along the way. I think she's super smart, super resourceful. Love this video. Love all these ideas. If you want to move out, there's probably a way to do it. You just need a little determination, and you can use the resources you have. Ask ChatGPT how to help, and it'll figure it out. It'll show you the programs, all these things that exist but nobody tells you about. ChatGPT would. All right, next video. Okay, if I had to guess, this is Texas. So all it says on the thing is the cost of living is so low, and then it shows like orange skies and like undrivable conditions because it's so dusty and like so windy and her hair blowing in her face. Yeah, it kind of sucks that the only places that you can be are places that nobody else wants to be, and that's the only way you can afford the cost of living. It's like, this is a pretty funny video. I really like it. I feel for her. But honestly, a lot of people, myself included, I'm like, I'm willing to pay more taxes and a little bit more money so that I can live in a place where I don't live in a dust bowl. I got asthma. I don't want to be there. Okay, this next one, I've already seen it because it did numbers on Twitter because a lot of people had comments because the caption is how much it costs to live with my parents each month as a 32-year-old. And a lot of people were like, move out, go do something. So there's not going to be any audio on this video because it would probably get copyrighted if it did, but he doesn't speak or anything. It's just music. And then he posts all of the prices that he has as text on the screen. So don't worry about it. Just sing yourself a song. Okay, so he goes through and says that he doesn't pay rent, he doesn't pay utilities, but then those are kind of the 2 things that you save on when you live with your parents. And then he does go through and say that he pays for a bunch of other stuff. He doesn't have a car payment. He says that's 0, but he does pay car insurance and he pays for $200 in gas per month. So it sounds like he just bought a car outright and he doesn't actually use his parents' cars or anything. That's a totally normal bill that would exist anywhere. Then he pays for medication and therapy and things that normal people pay for, and they're not high amounts. A lot of people had a problem with the fact that he was spending $260 on the gym. If I'm not wrong, it looks like it's like a Lifetime or a very nice gym that he's working out at. I don't fault him. If you're living at home and he looks like he's in really good shape and exercises a lot, you went for a run and to the gym in the same video, spend $260, whatever. You live at home. Like when you move out, you can reduce that expense. I don't know why everyone on the internet got so mad at it. He probably spends a lot of time there and definitely gets his $260 worth out of it. It's not like he's struggling. He only spent $1,348 for the month. Go to the a nice gym if you want to. You can totally afford it if you live at home. The caption is all the money goes to keeping my mental health together. That's real. Like I said, $260 gym, therapy, medication, whatever. I think it's totally fine if you want to live with your parents at 32 years old. Life is hard. We've just spent all these videos talking about how life is hard. I don't know why people got so upset with them. I think it's a great thing to do if you have a good relationship with your parents and you're happy to be there. All right. This one, the text is Great Depression 2025. So let's see. So it's saying that during the Great Depression, 48% of young adults, which goes ages 18 to 29, live with their parents. And today it's 52%, saying life was more affordable during the Great Depression than it is now. Few notes. A lot of those people were probably near or about married at that point. So they probably had a roommate. So it made it a little bit cheaper for most people. That probably sways about 2% of it. I think at the same time, it sucks. Housing sucks. Cost of living sucks. The best thing you can do is try your very best and figure it out and keep moving forward. You can either fight the system or accept it and try and beat it. So those are the TikToks for today. I hope you can figure out a housing solution that works for you. I know I certainly have not. I would really like to move to a new place, but because rent has gone up so much in the last year in San Francisco, I am stuck in this apartment for a little while. It's not my ideal world, but all I can do is make more money or accept where I'm at. So thanks for watching.